inspired you to start skateboarding?
There are a number of things. There was a guy, basically, you know, everything was close to you, guy down the street.
Yeah.
And super cool, mellow guy, always aloof. And I loved that he just did his own thing. There were no coaches. There was no one telling him what to do and how to do it. And I thought, God, that looks awesome. I stepped on his board one day and just the flow of it, there's something that just rang inside of me. And from then on, what I love most about it is you just make your own path. And the community itself, it's never me against anybody or the team against anybody. It's just we're here together.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
What's it like to have invented skateboard tricks?
I mean, I appreciate the way you express it a lot, you know, inventing. And the thing for me is, all right, this is what I do and how I do it. If I can do it differently, it better articulates or expresses what I'm about. And when I see other people doing it, there's this connection. Guys like, I don't know, I mean, guys that you know you don't have a whole lot in common with or you've never met. Like I think of maybe, you know, Antoine or any of these guys that I'm like, oh, I've hardly even met the guy and I see him and it's just, I'm amazed at his skating. But you know, you feel really foreign. Like and then when you see him do what you do and you share that, we're both skaters, there's this crazy sense of community that comes out of it, and that's the biggest joy of it for me.
And even globally, it's like you get to go to another country and people who don't even speak the same language, you can sit and hang out with for hours and be able to kind of, you know, use skateboarding as a language to really connect yourselves. I think that's really, really amazing part of skateboarding.
And a weird, it shares something deeper that almost people talk about anyway. You know, what would you be saying anyway?
Now I have a question for you. Who's one of your favorite people to watch on the Almost team?
There's so many. I mean, Day One and I have such a bond.
Yeah.
But Haslam too. Haslam is such a good friend. And what I love about it, there's so many gifted guys I love watching, period. But when a guy skates in a way that it's unmistakably him, then you think that guy has something special and that will last and will make a difference for, again, we were talking about inventing or whatever you want to call it, that we will all share. Yep. And Haslam has that in spades, as does Day One in particular. To me, again, like I marvel at a lot of the guys who do stuff textbook, you know, good hard tricks. But in the end, it's when the guy just kind of takes his own route and makes it his. That's the part that I love.
Yeah, I can't agree more.
Speaking of taking your own route, we have some kids out there wondering how you land primos so smooth.
I think it's just what you grow up doing. Like I look at guys that skate transition. I didn't grow up skating transition, and I can do it all right, but no, not really, you know. And so it's just what you grow up doing. I think that's what I did, and so it seems second nature to me.
Oh man, this phone is blowing up. Do you ever get nervous before runs? And if so, what do you do to calm down?
Absolutely get nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah, like terrified.
Well, you haven't competed in a long time. I know a couple of the kids are asking, are you ever going to compete in things like the Dew Tour again?
No. I quit. I competed like, you know, this was a long time ago, but back then there were way less videos. They were totally different from what they are today. And so I competed 11 years, and I know it sounds corny to say. I won everything I entered for 11 years except for one, and it made me crazy, and I hated what it did to me. It made me just like want to avoid it all.
Yeah.
And so I promised myself, this is like in '91, I think I entered my last contest.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be entering any soon.
No.
Yeah.
Do you, Haslam and Day One Song, ever get competitive? Beyond just maybe the videos?
Look, the quick answer to that is absolutely not. We're friends. But that's not a completely honest answer.
Yeah.
Is that all of us are there. Like, everybody's cool, but
it's more pushing each other?
Yeah. I mean, there are nuances of words, but you feel heat. Like, when you're in a video and you see Day One and we talk, because when you make stuff, you're like, hey, guess what I made, or whatever. And it's the best feeling, because who else do you want to share that with? Well, only someone up here.
Yeah.
And is it competitive? I don't know. It's heat. I think you just, because you're just terrified to look like an idiot when you come up on the video together.
Yeah, I mean, well, Day One Song versus Rodney Mullen are some of the, you know, the most amazing, you know, game-changing videos that were really ever out there. So just, you know, in the words of the title, it's competitive, but really it's more about just creating something together and showing different styles really come together for one, like, kind of common bond. So I think that's super rad.
That's right. It's that push. Competitivism has a negative sense or connotation to it. It's just that push where you feel like definitely he'll show me something and I wouldn't be able to sleep for a night or two.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we have what advice would you have for someone just new to skateboarding?
Make it your own,
Good
because
advice.
that's ultimately, I think, you get the most gratification out of it. It's making it your own. It doesn't matter if you get to be pro or the best guy or whatever. It's if you make it your own. And what I see so often is guys who are super talented, super committed, they got it all, but they're driven so hard because they grow up around a guy with a video camera and they grow up into filming. And by the time they get there at a certain level, they get burnt out and they think, is this it? And now I'm just supposed to one up my last video? And then they like hit a wall. And that steals what was most precious to them. And why? You can't even put your finger on it.
Yeah.
And so just make it your own. And being pro is not what it's all about. And like the best way to be a pro is to not let it get to you and think of yourself as a pro. You're just doing your thing.